Is it your house?
Well, no, it
Oh.
was, we rented a house. It was
Oh,
actually
okay.
a friend of mine's house.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought,
Poor guy. It was my furniture, and clothes, a lot of it.
All right, Bobbie, you'll have 20 minutes and
Yeah.
I'll just come back.
I want a two-shot.
okay, all right. So he's just going to do a two-shot here. Yeah, just get comfortable so that you can stay that way the whole time. It looks great. Yeah, dress is good, skirt is good. So anyway, is it your first time in Dallas?
Oh, no, I've been to Dallas many times because I'm from McAllen, Texas.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've got a lot of relatives in Dallas.
Oh, well, I remember on the EPK, you're saying about Holly, she has a southern accent like mine.
Yeah. I like that. Oh, did they put that on the EPK? You never know what's going to end up on it. I don't want her to think that's the only reason I wanted her.
But I didn't know you were from Texas.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Went
Yeah.
to UT and, grew up in McAllen and everything.
I think you say learn to keep your mouth shut.
Combing their hair between tackles.
That's a funny premise, isn't it? That's a funny shot.
Could be good.
Tell me when you want me to start.
I'm rolling.
Okay. And you're just on her.
No, two shots.
Oh, okay. All right.
Better do the
All right.
intro first.
Okay.
You still have to look good too. Okay.
Catherine, welcome to Dallas. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be back in Texas.
Yes. Now, where are you from?
I'm from McAllen, Texas, the southern tip, as you know.
The Valley.
Yeah, the valley, Rio Grande Valley. Yeah.
And did you go to school then in Texas?
Well, I went to University of Texas in Austin, architecture school, got a 5-year professional degree. Then I went back to McAllen and I worked as an architect, building buildings and things. Then I went to University of UCLA in California and studied film.
So you just decided that this was something you wanted to do more than architecture?
Well, I had already gotten to do some interesting architecture, but I really just suddenly got inspired to, work in the film business. Really, one of my teachers at UT had kind of planted a little seed in my head, said that maybe I would enjoy something a little more creative than architecture sometimes. People tend to be a little conservative when it's your own home. I had dragons like coming out of my designs and people are like, no, no, no.
No gorgons.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're here to celebrate your first movie as a director and co-writer.
Right, right.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you. It's pretty exciting.
Well, it really is, and the story behind 13, I think, is a very interesting one. Nikki Reed, who plays Evie, is the co-writer with you. All right. Nikki is the one who lived this story.
Exactly. Very similar, many similar events to the story. Yeah.
Why didn't Nikki then play the Evan Rachel Wood role of Tracy?
Well, originally when Nikki and I wrote the script, we wrote it kind of as a tool to help her get through some of these tough times, and that's what we thought, that she would play herself, quote, herself in the movie. But as we kind of went along, we realized that would be Nikki's first role, first time to act. She'd be playing with Holly Hunter, who's, award-winning, Academy Award-winning actress, and then she would have to go through things that were somewhat similar to stuff she's already gone through that are really tough, that we realize that's really going to be hard for anybody. Almost nobody does that. Erin Brockovich didn't play herself, as fascinating as she is. And then we realized that Nikki, in a way, wasn't quite innocent enough to be her innocent self anymore. She'd already kind of become more sophisticated and gone through so much life experience. And when we found Evan, Evan is amazing, and she just puts her heart and soul into it.
What had Evan done before?
Evan had been in a television series called Once and Again, which is a really neat series about 2 divorced families, and she was a kid that they realized what a great actress Evan was, and they kept writing more and more interesting parts for her over the 3 years she was on the series. And in this movie, she even takes it to a whole other level as the lead actress, and really going from an innocent kid all through all the troubles that she's struggling with and coming out on the other side. She's pretty amazing, I think.
Now, this 13-year-old girl was a really good kid
Yeah.
until she became 13.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got in with the wrong crowd,
Right.
and they became her peers.
Mm-hmm.
Had she gotten in with a good crowd, would she have remained a good girl?
Well, I think this girl had a lot of troubles already. She wasn't comfortable with the fact that her parents were divorced. She just really hadn't resolved that need to have the family together and the father more involved in the family. Her mom was also struggling with her own things, and she felt like she needed more attention. She did not like it when she realized that the popular girls were really the only girls that were noticed at school, the sexy, cute girls. She wanted to be one of those girls. She didn't want to be invisible. So she just tried really hard. She had a good group of friends, and she left them and went to the popular girls.
How is Nikki today? What is her life like?
Well, Nikki has, because of this process, like kind of working with me and hanging out, and we learned this, I taught her to surf together, and we went to museums, and we wrote the screenplay together, all kinds of creative things instead of destructive things. That was kind of the goal. She's realized, that people actually listen to her and what she's gone through, and other kids can relate to it. I think it's given her another level of self-confidence that she can actually say something to kids, and not that she wants to be a spokesperson, but at least she knows, hey, she's not the only one that's had to struggle through this. So.
And is her life today one where she's free of drugs?
Oh yeah, no, she's already long past the drug and drinking thing. She's over that at 14. So she's, got through a lot of stuff, and she started to figure out, where she fits in. And I think kids have to figure that out themselves. Is this right for me? Sometimes you put your toes in the water and no, that's not good. Or, you plunge in and then you have to get out. And I think that is normal. I mean, the therapists that have seen the movie say that all kids have to separate from their mother and become their own person. And she had to do that. What I think scares parents is parents don't want their kids to separate so much that they do something that they can't go back, that they end up in jail or pregnant or something like that. They want them to stay somewhat safe even while they're trying to figure out who they are.
Now, do I understand that you were friends with Nikki's father or stepfather?
Her father.
You were
Right,
friends
right.
with Nikki's father.
Right. Well, actually, Nikki's parents got divorced when she was 2 years old, and when she was 5, her father and I started going out. So for 4 years, he and I were boyfriend and girlfriend, and I was kind of like a stepmother for Nikki and her brother. But in the same time, I was very good friends with her mother. We were all, a happy post-nuclear family in a way, the modern version of a family. So we all got along great. Even after he and I broke up, we all stayed friends, and I stayed involved in Nikki's life and in her brother's life. And sometimes it seems to work out when a girl starts to rebel against her mother, and even if her friends say, your mom's cool, like you don't think your own mom is cool. She's my mom. She's not cool when you guys leave, that kind of thing. So you need another adult sometimes, like an aunt, a grandmother, a big sister, somebody else to talk to besides your mom. And that's kind of what I was, kind of like a mentor or a big sister for Nikki.
When you got Holly Hunter interested in the project, was that when Fox Searchlight came along and took it over?
I wish. What happened was when Holly Hunter got interested in the project, that got Evan's agents interested in her being in it, and that got other actors interested. But Fox Searchlight and no other studio got on board until we had actually finished the movie and showed it at Sundance. And then they bought it after the first screening.
So you had to do your own financing.
We did our own. We had equity investors. We had a group of people in New York, and then also Working Title. 3 weeks before shooting, they kicked in like a chunk of money, which was really great. And we did it for about $1.5 million. Very low budget.
Now see, most pictures spend that much on Evian water,
Oh, I know, because I've worked on all these other movies as a production designer, and my budget just on the sets will be 2, 3, 4 times as much as the budget of this whole movie.
That's incredible. Well, you've got a lot of movie there for 1.5
$1.5
million.
Well, the actors just put their heart and soul into it. Holly and Evan and Nikki, they just breathe the character. They put their soul in it. Yeah.
Catherine, was there ever a time on the set, since this was your first time to direct a movie, was there ever a time on the set when you just panicked, like, oh, I don't know what to do?
Yes, there were a few times. For example, one time Holly was wondering, how the script was going to actually work out, and, what are we going to do in this scene? And when Holly Hunter turns to you and she says, what do I do? You're thinking, oh my God, she's won an Academy Award and she's asking me. But, I knew inside, why we were doing this scene and what the purpose of it was. So we just kind of all got through it together. But there were many times where we were on such a tiny, short shooting schedule because we had no money, that they would come up to me, they'd run up to me and say, okay, the car doesn't run that's in this scene. One of the electricians had to go home, so we only have one crew member here, and you have 5 minutes till the kids have to go home because they're on the short shooting schedule because they're underage. So you got 5 minutes to make the day, and the car doesn't work. And I'd just be like, this can't be happening, but you can't even panic for 1 second because then you lost 1 minute. You just have to think, okay, what can I do in 5 minutes that's going to be good? So that's what we tried to do, make those 5 minutes good.
How did it happen then that you got into Sundance?
Well, what you do is as soon as you finish a tape, like a rough cut of the thing where it's not the right music, it's not really perfect sound, but you've roughly thrown it together the best you can in like the 6 weeks that we had. We sent the tape to Sundance, and then they watch it. And they've seen a lot of other rough cuts, so they know that, it'll still get better. And I guess they chose it when they saw it. They said that they knew right away they wanted it in the festival.
And you were very successful there.
Yeah, we got, I won the directing award, so for the feature film directing award, which was really amazing. I fell out of the chair, I knocked Nikki down as I was trying to walk up there to get the award. I didn't have any speech, I didn't even thank anybody. I just, you don't know that anything good's going to happen. You never know.
And then the picture itself, did it get any other awards?
Well, no, that was the main award, which is I think it's kind of like the second highest award. It's pretty cool. And
Very
then
cool.
we've gotten awards at the Nantucket Film Festival for screenwriting, and in Locarno, Switzerland, we got an award for Best First Feature, and Holly got Best Actress.
Fantastic.
So that's neat.
You're out of the gate and running, Catherine.
We're trying.
Are you working on another film?
Yes, I've written a couple other screenplays, and I'm trying so hard to get one of them made. It's just hard to get a studio to want to make the same thing that you want to make, but that's what I'm working on right now.
And is it anything to do with young people?
Well, it kind of is. It's kind of about the buying and selling of teenagers through marketing and advertising and, all kinds of things, and how we get imprinted, at an early age that you got to wear baby Gap, from the first moment you're born, and how does that affect us? And in a way, this movie has some of that layered in too, how our commercial culture kind of informs us maybe just as much, if not more, than our educational system and our parents, as we get bombarded with 3,000 advertising messages a day, on average, they say.
Well, Catherine, I'm impressed with your film and impressed with you, and I can only say that in the many years I've been doing this business, I have talked with a lot of first-time directors, writers turned directors, among them Barry Levinson, and he's done really good, hasn't he?
Yeah.
For a first-time guy of Diner.
We like that. Yeah, that was great.
So
yeah.
I can only wish for you the same kind of success.
Oh, thank you. Well, maybe some good luck will rub off on me. Thanks. Thank you very much. Yeah, she's cool.
I'll ask the question and you start to answer, and then I'll wave you off.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Your role?
Catherine, why didn't Nikki Reed play the role of Tracy, who is the 13-year-old we're talking about?
Well, that is what we thought originally. That's what Nikki and I thought when we started writing it, because it was kind of meant as a way to help her.
That's fine. Do you think if Nikki had gotten in with a different group of people that she would have stayed the so-called good girl?
Well, she did have her friends that were good, but she didn't want to be with them anymore because she wanted to move on and join the popular crowd. when you had Holly Hunter, when Holly Hunter joined the cast, then is that when Fox Searchlight came in?
Well, no, actually, the studio didn't come in until the film was completely finished and shown at Sundance. Trying to remember what I said.
It doesn't matter. We've already
Okay.
got yours. Let's see. So you had to do your own financing then.
Yeah, we had to find a group of equity financiers from New York, and then Working Title came in at the last minute and
Okay.
helped.
Right. Let's see. Was there ever a time on the set when, as a first-time director, you just said, I don't know what to do?
Yes, there was. There was one scene where Holly just turned to me and said, I really don't know what we're doing here and how to do this.
Do that one more time.
Okay.
Okay.
Was there ever a time on the set, as a first-time director, when you just thought, I don't know what to do?
Yes, there was. There was a time when Holly turned to me and we were in the kitchen about to shoot the scene. She says, I don't know what we're doing here or why we're doing this scene, and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, oh no.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Tell me a little bit about your background.
Oh, well, I'm from McAllen, Texas, and I went to architecture school at the University of Texas in Austin. And then I went back to McAllen and built a whole townhouse project.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. I think that'll probably do it.
Is that good? Oh,
Yeah.
great.